Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the Dominion League Championship match between JNails and yurikamome. Uh, I'm joined here by Xander on commentary.
Hi.
They'll be playing today. JNails has a lead from the regular season, so if he needs 2.5 games to win the match, Yuri needs 4.5, and if they finish with a 4-2 result, then we'll go to a seventh game.
Yeah, I think JNails is looking for his first Dominion Championship title.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Yuri has won two or three, I think.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
reading the bios. It looks like uh, Yurikamome has two,
Okay. Okay.
looking for his third.
There we go. Yeah, so we have a first board. It looks pretty spicy. We have donate, importer. Uh, yeah, a lot of sort of interesting things to be doing. There's a lot of draw, not really easy villages.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's donate and dominate, which are both very strong events.
Hmm.
Um, that immediately jump out to me as things to be trying to get, but
Yeah. Well, fortunately, you don't really have to try to get donate. It's just always there for you.
yeah, fair
There's
enough.
there's Artificer Weaver, which can be a strong synergy, but it doesn't look like there's that much exciting to gain with the Weavers.
Yeah,
You could try and use that to power some sacrifices to get a village going, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. Yeah, so the first question is the opening. So you have five favors to use for the cave dwellers, so you can spend those and get a 5 on turn one, which looks good to me. I would probably um, think that probably Paddock would be the one that I would start out
yeah,
with.
yeah. I was looking at Paddock as well, just because you need to pay off that eight debt, and you can get some horses along the way of doing that.
Yeah, yeah. The disadvantage of Paddock is that you're probably not playing Sea Witch, which does look pretty annoying since there isn't really, well, there's no non-terminal way to trash the curses other than donating again. So there's probably something to be said for maybe opening with a mining road just for being non-terminal.
Yeah, but we do know that JNails is a fan of scrap, so maybe we'll see scrap in the open,
That's true. I mean, that doesn't,
even with donate on the board.
yeah, that doesn't seem completely crazy. I mean, I think, if you didn't have these extra cave dwellers favors, it would, scrap would be pretty tempting. But the other thing you could do is, of course, you could open Artificer, and then I mean, in some sense, you have a free 5, except slightly delayed. Uh, if you want to like donate down to Artificer 5 coppers, for example.
Yeah,
All right, JNails has started tossing estates. Goes for Weaver. That's really interesting.
yeah, yeah. That's a little unexpected, but um, I can see it in that there's multiple ways to discard a card in this kingdom, and it's another way to improve your deck after you've trashed with donate.
Yeah, I mean, like being able to get the 2 silvers, like if you can get 2 silvers and then donate here, I mean that's nice in the sense that you can keep fewer coppers. I don't know if I'm really convinced that it's going to pay off in the long run because I think you just run out of things that you want to gain so quickly. until I mean, eventually you could gain destriers and stuff, but that's quite a long ways off.
Yeah, yeah, because you have to get 3 cards before in the same turn before you can gain Destrier with Weaver.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean that will obviously be possible at some point if a pile empties for Paddock, but that might not happen until the destriers are gone.
Or two. Sorry, I misspoke.
Oh yeah, yeah, no
But
worries. I always like importer games because they make you think about how to use the favors. Like on a lot of boards, with cave dwellers, it's not a particularly strong ally, so you're usually not, going out of your way to get more favors. So you just sort of use one at some point, and then that doesn't really impact the game. But importer really gives you more choices.
yeah, but where you start with a bunch and you have to use them strategically.
Hmm. Hmm. I think it's so nice to start with a five already on a donate board with strong fives that uh, it's hard for me to resist just getting the turn one five and then going from there.
Yeah, there's just so many choices.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm imagining that Yurikamome is thinking about like the sequence of turns and how that works. And it looks like he decided to follow JNails in getting a Weaver.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely not the direction I would have gone, but we'll see how it turns out. Second Weaver, okay.
2 Weavers. Okay, so
I would
maybe
imagine.
using those favors to discard the Weaver.
Yeah, I mean that'll be nice this turn. So JNails had 4 coppers last turn, so it'll be hard to hit five, or non-trivial to hit five again here, but definitely being able to play the Weaver without using a card is nice. All right, so Yuri just goes for the 2 silvers into donate. Huh, yeah. JNails wants to follow. Okay.
I suppose. Oh yeah, only keeping 3 cards.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
And now the importer. Um, so I mean, you can use the favors to play the Weaver for a little while, but eventually the terminal space is going to get constricted here.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't just play with 2 importers as your 2 terminals. It's not the worst thing ever.
yeah. It seems pretty reasonable when there's a lot of good cards that cost 5.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. The issue might be, running low on draw because if you have the Weaver, then you want, I mean, you're going to want Artificer presumably to go with it, and then, Artificer is a lot less good if you uh, don't have good ways to increase hand size.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Hmm. All right.
another Weaver.
Going for the double Weaver. I'm curious if either of them thinks that just going for a bunch of silvers and then provinces is reasonable. I would not. I mean, that would look good to me if dominate wasn't on the board, but I assume
Yeah,
that uh, you want to build more here.
yeah. Usually on a board with dominate, if it's possible to build up to buying dominate, it's often better than provinces.
Especially with no way to mill the provinces or anything like that.
Yeah. JNails thinking about exactly how many cards to keep.
hmm Well, if he wants to gain things that aren't silvers with the Weaver, then definitely it would make sense to keep a copper, I think, so that you can buy a 5 next turn.
Yeah. Just completely getting rid of that debt.
All right, not interested in a 5 or is interested in more silvers.
Yeah. Or just aversion to having any coppers in the deck.
True. Although silver, not really. I mean, it's better than copper, obviously, but it has a lot of the same problems with, being a stop card and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so one importer. I kind of assume the second one is going to go for uh, either 1 or 2 silvers. I guess you could get
Yeah.
shop. Shop would also get you to 5 here, although
Why not two silvers and then Destrier here? I mean, I was thinking that would be that was something I would have considered doing. Importer, I think, is focusing on there being a lot of relevant cards that are exactly 5.
yeah, I mean the Destrier isn't like immediately helpful. You can play what you gain off of importer now, and whereas the Destrier is just overdraw that isn't immediately doing anything. So it's sort of just
Yeah.
going for more resources rather than a card, which is maybe more helpful in the long term. But presumably there's lines that will get you to more draw this turn. Like you can, gain um, if you gain Mining Road here off, if JNails gains Mining Road off the importer and plays it, then you have multiple buys, and then with the Weaver gains, you can get Destrier, or I mean, after the Weaver gains, you can buy Destrier, even if you don't want 2 silvers. Hmm, the scrap. Okay, so
Crap,
that's
that's
yeah, so that's definitely a play to try and get quick
trying to just
Destriers.
get all the gains. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go. There's the
yeah,
Destrier
yeah. Okay, so JNails gets the
and the
Artificer.
Artificer.
I mean that makes sense
Yeah, that
with the
yeah, that
Weavers that
trap
you
is
would want
stupid.
you would want that at some point.
Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble playing them after this turn.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We have to assume that Jury will gain Artificer off of his importer. All right. JNails going heavily into weavers. JNails is a big fan of sort of rush-based strategies focused on these workshop cards. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's, you know, just going to try and increase gains a lot and then figure out how to win eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Oh, oh, okay. I was confused for a second as to why he would discard three, but then I realized that Weaver is gaining a card before you put something on top. But then he gained a scrap,
Mhm.
so I was half expecting a Destrier, but oh wow, that is a lot of Destriers.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, that seems to be that I think he's doing pretty well with that many Destriers on turn four
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Yuri will be able to get a lot here as well.
or turn five.
Yeah, so you can discard the horse and two or I mean, yeah, no, you discard the horse and two weavers, gain scrap, draw scrap with the other horse.
Yeah, because you want to trash the silver.
You could also gain another weaver.
Yeah, I guess you have to be thinking about which puts you in a uh, better spot for next turn.
Hmm. I mean, getting the scrap, then you have an extra, then you get have, a horse, which is nice to start doing more artificer things. Okay, so it just goes for the Destrier directly. Oh yeah, okay. With the
Yeah,
with
well,
no, okay,
that makes some sense.
yeah, it does get the scrap. It's it's complicated to read the log when there's so many things happening in the middle of a yeah, in the middle of the single action.
It doesn't look like the Destrier pile is going to last until next turn, so maybe just
Mhm.
getting as many as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So now probably want to start gaining paddocks, I would guess, with the artificer.
Yeah. Then you can start getting some payload into the deck.
Hmm. Hmm. And start supporting more artificers.
Yeah. this is a there's a lot to think about with this kingdom because this could realistically end on like really quickly, maybe even next turn, if the gains get really uh like just if you're maximizing the amount of gains, the
Hmm.
weavers can just gain a bunch of estates after they're empty.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's any way for Yuri to get to 14 next turn, but I think it's a little bit difficult.
I
I
do
don't.
not have Sea Witch on my radar.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I understand the Weaver interaction, but I thought uh, that another Artificer would be better for that.
I would expect that JNails was hoping to find the sacrifice here.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
this hand looks really awkward now.
Yeah, I think given the size of the discard pile, that trying to go sacrifice plus second terminal is kind of ambitious there. Yeah, because now here's the sacrifice, but
Yeah, typical.
all right, just gets the second Sea Witch. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised JNails played it that way because I mean, I agree with you that if you just like take more weavers, then you threaten the states, and it seemed like there was a faster path to the exit than this, which is playing for more of a long game.
Um, I think the Sea Witch is presumably to add some junk and also discard the Weavers at the start of the turn.
Yeah, I mean, it it just sort of does a bunch of things, all of which are okay on their own.
Still worse than Panic. I mean, I think Panic would be trying for a different thing. I think Panic it increases your uh, amount of draw, and also the +2 coins helps get you up to higher numbers for Dominate potentially. Where Sea Witch seems to be Sea Witch is a lot less is a lot better for consistency because Paddock is pretty easy to end up with Paddock without being able to get to the horses that it makes. But Sea Witch just really helps with like making sure you don't dud in your hand. Yeah, a second donate is a bit of a tempo cost. That's true. To some degree, the artificer makes it so you don't care as much about the curses because you can just discard them, assuming you can draw enough.
Yeah, I don't think the curses are a huge deal, but I mean they aren't good either. All right, so Yuri's getting more weavers and sacrifice. Okay, and also the paddock here. interesting to trash
Well,
the horse there. I would have thought you're ready, sort of ready to get rid of one of these scraps.
maybe trying to top deck the horses like Iris said.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also top deck the horses by playing a horse.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
I mean, you have less draw this way than by playing the horse. I mean, the scrap gets you back a horse, but I don't really see what is gained by having the second scrap in the deck at the moment.
Crashing the curse. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can trash the curse at the cost of playing importer, which doesn't seem like a very good deal to me, but
Yeah, well, the last card, is it the curse? I think
I,
it's
I,
the curse.
yeah, I think it's the curse. Yeah.
So then it's actually difficult to get the horses on top. Um,
Well, yeah, but if you had a horse in your hand instead of
oh,
a
now
scrap,
the
then
scrap's
then,
going
then, then
away.
it would, yeah, yeah. I think I would take two silvers here. I'm definitely in the market for trying to dominate next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because Yuri has 5 now. That's an extra 4. Then you need. It's pretty realistic to add an additional 5
Yeah,
to
well,
the deck and then also be able to draw it.
yeah, I mean, you probably buy um, either Artificer or Sea Witch here. If you take Artificer, then you only need to add two more silvers. If you take Sea Witch, then you have some extra draw. I mean, you could also take Paddock, which gives you money and sort of draw if you can draw around to it. And you also have the importer coming off.
Sacrifice.
All right, so planning to keep adding terminals. I assume that means we'll see which here.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see what JNails does with these weavers here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Last
tempted.
turn it was not just gaining a bunch of more weavers, but
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of what I expected. I mean, I think now if you go for it, it's probably a bad idea, but I think at least in some point, they're going to be used to either be or make sacrifice food.
Yeah, turn them into a village.
Hmm. I mean, village would be a very good card here.
Well, if you gain enough weavers with weaver, then paddock is a
That is
village.
true. You would also need to gain a paddock to make use of that.
Yeah, which you can get with the artificer.
Hmm.
Jay could have pile estates next turn. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we were thinking about that as a possibility,
I don't doubt that if
but not this
JNails
way.
if JNails just went really hard for gaining estates that or for towards the estate pile out, that I
Yeah,
think it's there.
but
But
well, this is looking like a dominate turn,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a lot better than piling estates in terms of points.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think uh, the problem with going for the estates line is that Yuri can probably find a way to dominate this turn, and then it doesn't work, and you're just
Yeah,
left with a bunch of weavers that are not necessarily
yeah,
helpful. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I think
yeah. With the estate line, it would have been last turn gain a bunch of weavers. This turn pile the estates, and then the game's over.
yeah, which might not have been there. I mean, I didn't. It would have been
Yeah,
hard, I think, to get enough draw to do that.
yeah. The only way that works is if the game's over before it's possible to dominate.
Hmm. All right, JNails has the first dominate.
That is a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting position in the game. I mean, JNails has has the points advantage. Yuri has, I think, a little bit more of a streamlined deck with the two paddocks already. That'll be helpful to keep drawing.
Yeah,
The two curses are definitely annoying, though. We'll see if he can draw through all this. Going for a big discard like this
yeah,
is a little risky, I think.
yeah. Especially if you're using up uh, the horses that you need for next turn.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I probably would have just discarded the two weavers and the curse and gained just like a shop. Because now maybe okay, just goes for another paddock. I would have been. I mean, I sort of expected another sea witch gained there.
Well, it seems that yurikamome is uh, maximizing horses
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean
in this horse-themed board.
it is a very horse themed board. Yes. Yeah, it looks like he'll be able to get to 14. There's still two more silvers down there. I mean, you don't want to be in a position where you're just leaving a bunch of silvers on top either. Although the sea witch
Unless
was
you're
played this turn.
unless you're just planning on discarding the silvers with Sea Witch and then not having to draw them immediately.
Yeah, but then I mean, that sort of makes sense if you don't have any other bad cards, but you do have other bad cards, so you're sort of, giving up opportunity for other filtering.
Yeah.
All right, so JNails will have to
Make it
trash.
a sacrifice.
Yeah. Okay, starts with the scrap
Or
instead.
scrap. Oh well, that's a good card to find.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what's on top of it. Okay, goes for the Weaver. I'm surprised that they're both just keeping these scraps around. I'm not feeling like they're accomplishing very much by just like scrapping silver into silver horse action every turn.
Yeah. Well, it is converting the silvers into horses when the silvers are kind of not helpful right now.
Sure, but I mean, if you just get rid of the scrap, then you have one less stop card. You're going down two cards in hand to gain a horse. It's probably I would think
Yeah,
I would think
I
worse
see your
than
point.
I would think worse than just getting rid of the scrap when you have an opportunity to do that. So J-Nails will get dominate here. It'll be hard to get dominate plus paddock, and he doesn't even try.
It's interesting. I'm thinking now that the curses might have some relevance in that they do subtract points, and when you're dealing in units of dominate, being the one with more curses could decide who wins at the end if you've dominated the same number of times.
Yeah, I think um, there's a few things going on with the curses. Like it probably restrains Yuri from getting a second Sea Witch to not want to deplete that pile too fast. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
I think Yuri has to be thinking that, to try and find a way to eventually break parity by going like dominate plus province at some point, having the ability to do that, or to be able to go double province, since he's ahead on building with the three paddocks.
Island curses.
Yeah, I mean JNails is not that far from piling curses, although how many weavers are in the trash? I think they've each trashed one weaver now. Yeah, so it's not particularly close, I don't think, anymore.
This is a really interesting board.
Hmm.
Like this kingdom could play out in different ways depending on like like I could see a lot of different ways that you could make your like the different the it like depends on how the players are interacting with each other in a way.
Hmm. Hmm. For sure, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of pile things going on just from the beginning with how fast you have to attack the destroyers, depending on what your opponent is doing. All right, so now Yuri goes for the second sea witch. That was an interesting decision point with uh, Yuri being like
Yeah,
sort of stalled, like at the point where he has to play the sacrifice on 13 money. Um, this looks like it's worked out decently. I think there's still a good number of horses down there.
yeah. I think the importers are interesting choice because um, you can gain the cards and then put them into your shuffle, and also it's making it so uh, you can threaten piles, but not deplete the piles on uh, until your next turn, I guess. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Yeah, it's some like delayed pile pressure.
Yeah,
I don't think it's relevant this turn. I would imagine maybe there's going to be at least one duchy gained off of these importers. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to resolve the Sea Witch first for JNails here.
yeah. More information on your hand.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd say at this point, I probably think Yuri has gone from slightly behind to slightly ahead.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way for JNails to pile. He only has two Weavers right now, two Weavers, one Artificer. I don't think it's even theoretically possible.
yeah. I mean, which piles are you gonna be getting rid of?
Yeah, I mean, the only ones that make sense sort of gain-wise would be like Weaver's Curses and then buy a province or something.
It
But
almost seems doable, but
well, I mean, you have one art, so you would have to discard two Weavers, gain two Weavers, play them again, then that gets you two curses. You have one Sea Witch that brings the curse pile down to two. Um, yeah, maybe it is possible, I guess.
yeah. And this at the start of the turn is like the major decision point. Are you going for it or not? Because if you go for it, you basically ruin your chances of winning at all if you fail.
Well, you can probably gain this first Weaver pretty safely. Okay, goes for it. I don't know, we'll see. It'll be interesting. Like I think the draw will be tight. Gaining the second Artificer is really interesting.
Might be necessary to be able to play the weavers if you draw to them, but
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many sacrifices JNails has. I think JNails has is the one with two sacrifices. Or no, Yuri has two sacrifices. Yeah, then you probably need to gain the Artificer. But yeah, this is the thing. I mean, it definitely at this point, like JNails has just been running on, well, already last turn was running on thin margins with draw. So, uh,
This is not an entirely unexpected situation.
yeah, yeah.
Oh well, that's starting to look a little bit more promising. But I haven't been keeping track of how many things are down at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah, what's at the bottom of the deck? Yeah, the last destrier. All right, two more horses are down there. That's a good
Oh,
sign. Yeah,
that's a lot of horses.
yeah, yeah.
It might be there.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. Well, I mean, you still have to. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, there's still three weavers in the pile. How many? So,
There's two buys. JNails took a buy with one of the scraps.
mhm, mhm. So we need to gain weaver here,
Okay.
draw the
Yeah,
weaver,
definitely have to.
play the next weaver, and that brings weavers down to one. So then weavers are one, curses are four.
Or you could do Sea Witch, since you have another artificer.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it.
Well, yeah, then you have to make sure that you'd have to turn Paddock into a village or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is complex.
Yeah, okay, so you discard this weaver and a bunch of junk, you gain another weaver, you draw it, you gain yeah. So I mean if well, after you've if you discard the weaver gaining weaver and gain weaver with the artificer, then after the next artificer play, you can have weavers emptied. But then you still need to empty the curses and get some points. And you've
Yeah.
put a bunch of junk in the discard pile. Doesn't I don't really see the gains anymore to get through the curses.
Is there more scrap in JNail's deck?
No, the other ones are in the trash. Mm, I don't know if I don't know if he's dead. I mean, the advantage he has is that he's ahead on points. So if he just buys Dominate, then Yuri at least needs to buy Dominate too.
Yeah.
You might need more. I mean, you might need slightly more than Dominate. You could go Dominate plus Duchy here easily.
Yeah, I mean, if you determine that you can't win here, then um, you just have to get as many points as possible. It looks like he thinks he has something.
Hmm.
Yeah, he thinks he's figured something out.
Yeah, let's say two, three, four, five.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if there was some combination of things that depletes all the piles. and gives enough room to buy a province or whatever. But because yeah, scrap can get can get a buy, so you didn't actually lose much by taking the scrap.
Yeah, I mean
75 buy
that's
share.
still neutral on gains. So at this point, okay, so now you can easily empty the last two weavers, and then you have three buys already in the bank. You draw around to the last weaver. Let's assume that's possible. Then that's the fourth gain. It still seems one short because then you're just emptying curses and you don't have the
Yeah.
extra buy for the province or whatever. Oh, there's another weaver there. Okay, I lost track of that one. Okay, this should do it then, maybe. Or at least there's a non-guaranteed line here.
Weaver something, get a scrap on top, then you get uh
Oh yeah, you get the scrap on top. Yeah, you don't need to draw back to anything.
yeah.
Yeah, that should do it then.
Then you have four buys. Uh, you
All
draw
right.
up to the weaver because you have two scraps. You only
Mm-hmm.
have one stock card. I think that gets you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, because you just need to play one more weaver.
I do believe that JNails will be able to find the win here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you need to gain the other scrap, and
Yeah,
then at this point it's guaranteed because there's only one
yeah, because you
stop
only have
card.
one stop card
Yeah.
and you're drawing two cards.
Mm-hmm. And you can scrap a weaver even for. No, I mean you can't do that actually, but that would be risky.
Yeah.
All right, well played
Well,
by
that
JNails to
was
find the
a
win there.
very interesting game one.
Mhm. Very nice board. All right, what do
Well, we
we?
have Paddock again,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Yurikamome has 5-2 um, with the pouch.
Hmm. Yeah, they can both.
Uh,
I mean, they could both take Hamlet Wayfarer, which looks pretty nice to me. I don't know if it's better than
oh, yeah,
Paddock.
that's a neat trick. Yeah.
I think the for JNails is definitely Hamlet Wayfarer. For Yuri, it's a little bit more unclear. But I would probably do it. I mean, the Wayfarer stuff is going to be really good with Way of the Ox being there, especially.
Yeah. Wave the Ox with Wayfarer uh, seems pretty good.
Hmm.
Wayfarer is a card you can get quite a lot of, but if it's not necessarily terminal and it can be a weak village, then you don't really care about stuffing a bunch in your deck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the more interesting
Does
question
look like there is.
is what do you do on the other hand? I would be pretty tempted to take a tracker.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have tracker, then you have progress early.
Yeah, exactly. You can gain various cards, which then let you buy a Wayfair.
Two coppers.
Yeah, the
I would expect that the pouch would be involved in this turn.
yeah, I mean, Yuri likes to play the little head games with only playing out some small number of coppers.
Oh yeah, pretending that he has the 2-5 when he actually has the 5-2.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes a huge difference.
It's very deep.
Yeah. Next card is info.
I mean, you
It's
cert.
true. That's true. Because no matter what, you have at least two coppers. Well, no, no, this is already given away info because it means that if he has a 2-5, then the pouch is not in it.
Mhm. I mean, you could just choose to play two coppers this turn and play two coppers next turn, and then your opponent will never know what opening split you had, but it's probably not worth it.
Probably not worth only having two coins for your first two turns.
Hmm. All right, goes for the paddock.
Oh,
I mean,
going
that's definitely a respectable card.
respectable. Yeah.
I mean, horses also make good oxen for sure.
Yeah. You wouldn't think so, but uh, actually, the horse is pretty good ox.
Hmm. Now, JNails doesn't go for the Wayfarer. That's really interesting. Goes for the tracker instead. Definitely not what I expected. This is a really nice wins gift there.
Yeah, getting to skip a bunch of cards.
Yeah, now you can just top deck like Hamlet plus Wayfarer or whatever you want.
It could have been annoying if it drew Paddock, but
That's
luckily
true.
it did not happen.
That's true.
I guess the uh, notable thing this kingdom is missing is trashing
Hmm.
with Market Square. Though I guess Market Square is usually more relevant for the buy part of it,
Yeah,
but
I don't know if I would say that's true necessarily. I mean, getting free
no.
golds for something you wanted to do anyways is very strong. I mean, you can technically trigger Square with ritual. It's not impossible.
Oh yeah, that's true. And you know, markets and rituals go hand in hand.
Hmm. I mean, it is technically an end game you can play too with Alt VP to be ritualing golds and then using that Market Square activate to get more golds. I don't think it'll happen here. All right, buys a copper.
Yeah.
That's um,
Buying a copper.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting that
guess to get the free Wayfarer.
yeah, it's interesting that he wanted it there, but didn't take the Wayfarer the previous turn. I mean, I understand he was probably worried about not wanting to trigger that shuffle, um, but it would have been a pretty short shuffle. I think I would have gone for it. Yeah, the market square is just to get extra buys so that you can get more Wayfarers.
Yeah, I guess just getting a bunch of buys and turning them into Wayfarers is probably the goal here.
Yeah, I mean here you could go just hyper aggressive and buy a copper here, and then you can use all four of your buys for some combination of Hamlets and Wayfarers. That seems that seems worth it. I mean, here the copper gets you, effectively two Wayfarers, which is a better deal than for one Wayfarer, obviously.
What about a poet? Someone got a poet. Who got a
Yeah, I
poet?
think I think JNails got a poet at some point.
Oh,
Right,
more poets.
poet, copper, three Wayfarers. Yeah, that seems.
I suppose it's yeah. Wayfarers can become 3 cost in the middle of the turn.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, the poets are fine. I don't think they're like super exciting, but just because, I mean, they're going to be, lab that costs four a lot of the time, but the draw on this board is very strong, so lab for four cost lab is not like really breaking the game open.
Ox the horse or get action from Hamlet.
I would play the horse, and then when you play the Hamlet, you're in a new shuffle, so you can discard something with impunity. I mean, you can also just ox the Hamlet. It's just sort of, yeah. There's not really going to be much of a reason to ox the horse here, but
Yeah, unless you really want to keep the horse forever.
try and go for some horse denial, which is probably not a good plan when JNails does not have any paddocks yet. Yeah, I mean,
But what if you just really like the companionship that the horse provides?
that's true. I mean, it is, the horse has nice art. It's nice to look at. We all appreciate the horse. It'll be interesting to see if JNails goes for gets goes for paddock at any point. It will be nice, kind of for reliability. It's sort of expensive as a draw card at this point, but like once you turn progress on, it's nice to have the horses on top, especially because, of course, the downside of progress is once you start greening, you put the green cards on top too.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I would buy a paddock here. It's not like there's a lot of competition for your dollars, assuming that you're gonna take the last three Wayfarers too.
Yeah, that's that's absolutely true.
And then JNails will have seven Wayfarers. That seems to put him in a pretty good position.
Yeah. And then the paddocks are also non-terminal, I guess. I don't
Hmm.
know if that's really too relevant here when actions are so easy to come by.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so exactly. Yeah, JNails will definitely be able to go over the top in terms of payload by gaining silvers with Wayfarers.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many silvers you end up wanting in the long run, but um, because like having a lot of the extra stock cards when you can't trash anything,
Yeah,
already having some inconsistency potential problems, but I do not know if JNails is US East or West. I have to check.
all right, there we go. There's a Market Square activation.
Whoa! I was totally wrong.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I would not think that having all these Wayfarers that you would be that desperate for more treasure payload that you would do that. Although it definitely earns a lot of style points.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it is getting a gold without paying for it, so
yeah, yeah, it does work in that sense. He goes for Armory. That's also interesting. I guess probably to get more poets.
I do believe that JNails is not US East or West, at least as far as time zone is concerned. Because is Chicago Central?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Yuri took those silvers when he isn't drawing the deck yet, but there's definitely some impetus to get them earlier rather than later, since it's, eventually, well, right now, the progress is going to start putting them on top of your deck, which is going to be mostly not what you want. It's funny playing the paddock before the shuffle when it actually
Yeah.
doesn't matter because of progress.
Not something that you usually do.
Hmm. I mean, the progress definitely makes the paddock better, speeds up your ability to use the horses.
Yeah, they're just there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Express horse delivery. It's just funny where like, well, oh, that's kind of annoying. The silver goes on top of the deck, but then at the same time, the horses also go on top.
Hmm. Hmm. Here's another potential market square activation wasted.
Yeah, if only Yurikamome had a market square. Or does he? I haven't been.
Yeah, I mean, he just
Oh,
played
he
it
already
right
played it.
right
Yeah, he
before
already
the.
played it.
Yeah, yeah.
Needed to save it for the tracker.
Hmm.
You can definitely predict which boon is going to come up.
Well, I mean, it was definitely in the pile.
Yeah, yeah, it does get more likely the more you don't see it.
So Yuri
Whether to
has.
trash the estate or copper nothing is strangely not a trivial decision.
Yeah, so he has 8, 14. I would probably trash a copper and buy double province plus paddock.
Yeah, with all the buys, you gotta be a little bit concerned about
Yeah, I mean,
their points.
I think it's definitely time to start greening. I mean, I would take at least one province. It's a little tricky because I mean, the just bottom two cards are probably not good, so makes the double province uh, kind of sketchy. Could go single province, paddock, double poet, and then you can uh, get the horses in your hand. That's probably better. I mean, as much as you would like another province, it's probably not worth the dud risk.
Well, JNails has enough money to at least double province,
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
a little more than that.
JNails has like, I mean, if you have seven Wayfarers, then in theory you put 14 more dollars in your deck this turn. So,
As long as you can draw it.
mm. I mean, JNails definitely has some form of inevitability. Like if if the game goes along, then eventually JNails can just buy a bunch more provinces all at once. I think this is pretty clearly the copper trash, though. I don't know what's taking so long on that decision.
The copper in last turn.
No, I mean this turn, like the Flames gift that we're looking at.
Oh, um, it uh, Yurikamome trashed an estate.
Oh, okay. My client must be lagging. All right, I'll get back
Yeah,
then.
it might be laggy.
I will try reloading.
Yeah, JNails is mostly through his turn.
Okay. Well, hmm. All right, now I'm back in. Okay, let's see. Uh, all right, so JNails has 10, 16, 20 in hand right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks right. Um, and JNails discarded estate, purse. So I don't think there's any more money down at the bottom of the deck
Hmm.
or down in the discard pile.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really draw anything anyways, unless you wanted to forgo playing the paddock.
Yeah.
Oh, 22 with the paddock. Yeah, if I forgot to count the paddock. Oh, is he going to learn the ritual
Oof.
Wayfair interaction here?
Oh no, not the ritual. Wayfarers don't belong in a ritual.
Yeah.
They're worthless. It would have been it would have been nice to be able to have a Wayfair account for 8.
Yeah, no, it would have been a good trick if it worked, which it doesn't. Yeah, so JNails, you know, can easily get triple next turn, assuming that he draws. So yeah, I think double here looks good. Then Yuri can't double.
Yeah.
JNails is probably in a commanding position from there. I don't really know why he was trying to do the Wayfarer trick, anyways, given
Because
given
it's
that.
stylish.
I mean, it is stylish, it's no one can take that away from him.
Oh, yeah, this is a emergency ox horse, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what has he got down at the stop card still? There's two coppers and one estate. It's difficult, difficult.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely need a lead, but then also JNails can potentially get 3 provinces next turn. So just 2 provinces might be bad, but then also
I mean, this is definitely a
it
situation where
looks
you take one province and duchies or just duchies. You have to think about which of those is correct.
mhm.
But I mean, Yuri has a lot of money, so uh, in that sense, that's a good position.
a lot of money, but not a lot of buys to
Yeah, I mean
use it.
the buys are all down there. I mean he has
Yeah.
one market square plus two or three hamlets. At this point, I think it would be very difficult to dud having drawn the pouch now, so you definitely would ox the horse, I think. I mean, there's no need to risk it here. Having more horses for next turn is good. Still one more Wayfarer down there, and a bunch of
Getting a bunch
cantrips.
of duchies makes it a lot easier to dud next turn.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, that's the tricky part is the progress. Uh, I mean, you could also just try and build more and take a smaller amount of points. Like you could take one province, one duchy, and then some other objects that give you money, and then try and put JNails in sort of the same position.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the way to go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Yuri has two hamlets down there, plus a market square. So five buys in total.
That's plenty to work with.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is figuring out how to get to those cards without uh, running out of actions.
Yeah, how many silvers? How many silvers does Yuri have? Four silvers. Okay, so that's the stop card count is then well, and no estate because of the flames gift. Okay, so all that's left is one copper and two silvers in terms of stop cards, I think.
I mean that gives pretty good odds that the Wayfair. I would probably just go with the ox horse into Wayfair. It's one more card.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess the question is, uh, do you risk finding an action to use with Wayfair by playing the horse normally, and then you can draw further overall?
Okay, one more
Oh, right, the
copper
free
because of the
Wayfair.
free wayfare, yeah. I mean the issue is that
That's,
if you just play the horse, um, I mean what you really want here is the plus buy cards. Like it doesn't matter as
yeah,
much about whether you are getting to the bottom of the deck so much as if that you have plus buys to do things with. And so now you
yeah,
have one Wayfarer still down there, but that's fine. I mean,
that's
probably
fine.
good even because you found all your payload, I think. Almost all your payload. I guess there's one copper still down there. So what's down there is like Wayfarer, copper, Market Square, one other thing.
The Ritas or how is Dutchy losing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
that's like easily losing, I think. You have because then JNails just needs double province, double duchy or something like that.
Yeah, and you
Oh, also
end
you
up
dud, yeah.
a bad next turn
Yeah.
with a different draw order. There, it looks like there might have been enough money to do four provinces, and then that's winning probably. But it was not in the cards.
Yeah, four province. I don't even know if four provinces is necessarily winning. You have the gold, which you can ritual. Here you probably put Shantytown on top. I think that's the best thing that prevents a dud and also doesn't lower piles. Cartographer, okay. I mean,
Uh, oh well, the shanty town would have been well, would have been about the same.
yeah. No, I mean it would be better because then you have two. I mean you have two looks at one card rather than one look.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because if the next card is not a draw card, then you're just you don't have a turn.
Yeah, I mean you need to find. I mean there's one copper and there's one copper, one Wayfarer, and one Market Square. So it's two out of three to find the Wayfarer. But then it would have been guaranteed to find the Wayfarer if you put Shantytown on top. All right, so JNails also, well, I mean, Yuri didn't really dud, but JNails basically duds.
Oh, JNails, yeah, JNails didn't end up drawing the whole deck. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, definitely a risk when you know, have, are not allowed to trash your starting cards.
Yeah, a lot more permutations of the deck that are like, well, that's just all cards that don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. JNails, I mean, Province, yes and no that Province is probably safe, but not completely safe. I mean, it is theoretically possible for Yuri to quad, I would guess. Maybe not. Maybe not with all the extra stop cards. I would Province here though.
Yeah, I mean, yurikamome didn't quad province and just made his deck worse overall with all the duchies.
Yeah, yeah.
So province is probably safe.
I think practically it's safe, even though there's maybe a tiny chance that Yuri could draw the cards in the right order to get to quad. I mean the other thing, I mean if JNails, wants to really aggro it, you can just buy two poets and put on top. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something to consider. Because you're not too worried about, well, I don't even know if it's possible to file and get a point lead, or there's already a point lead for Yurikamome, so, but I don't know if the gains are there with two poets. It's three, no, there's definitely four buys. Yeah, so,
mhm.
oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
It's the worst possible thing out of three options, so it really wasn't that unlikely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It definitely should have been a shanty town.
Yeah.
Putting another tracker on top. Okay. I don't know if that's better than nothing, but um, certainly is an option. We'll see how far
Yeah, I
JNails
mean,
gets through the deck here.
yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah.
It's another awkward spot
Mhm.
where I mean you probably just play the poet.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I would ox the
well
poet.
that worked out well.
I mean you're in I think you're in pretty bad shape if the poet doesn't find an action.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If JNails can get to triple, he should be in really good shape. If not, it's a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, it would be really hard uh to get enough points to catch up if JNails can get three provinces.
Yeah, yeah. It would have to be a two-turn line.
Oh, JNails knows that yurikamome's next turn is probably going to be pretty good with um, all the bad cards being in his discard pile.
Hmm.
Well, some
Hmm.
of them.
A lot of them. Well, I mean, a non-zero fraction. There's a lot of bad cards.
Does cartographer show the opponent? No, it just says look. Okay.
Huh. Auctioning the Wayfarer. That's an interesting choice. Is JNails going to try and pile here then? Certainly seems so.
The majority of the deck is not just effectively Shantytown anyways. Yeah, I mean, kind of. GG. Three buys. Uh,
I mean, you need a little more, but
three buys.
it's very,
I don't know if it's there in hand, but it's definitely possible.
you armory Hamlet brings you to 5 gains that you need left. Play Hamlet for buy. That's 4 buys, so you're still 1 buy short. I mean, you probably get there. It's probably, I mean, it's close enough that I think you armory the Hamlet here.
Yeah, you'd really want to ox the Wayfarer, I guess. Otherwise, the actions are awkward. Oh, not the poet on the top. Oh,
Wants an action too. I mean, there's no reason not
oh,
to.
okay. Yeah.
All right, so it doesn't get there,
It doesn't quite. Yeah.
but this is that 14 money? Yeah, this is a this isn't an amazing spot to be in.
Yeah, this is
You can
it.
ritual
It
this
changed
gold.
from
I think the
it changed
decisions
from
to
like, oh, it might be a win to how do I not
yeah,
end up losing next turn?
I mean the decisions to arm to auct some of the wayfarers I think is uh suspicious. Like I don't see why you would ox the wayfarer instead of oxing the poet. I mean, oxing, if you ox the poet and then play Wayfarer, then you've just drawn more cards. And you know that there's more actions down there because you just put a Hamlet on top.
I think there was one action left, so you can't ox the poet and then
Oh
use your
yeah, yeah, right,
yurikamome
right, right.
and then play
That's how that works. Yeah, good
the.
point. Duchy ritual. Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to do that. I don't really see anything else that makes sense. You could, I mean, the other option would be like just to put a cartographer or something on top and not take the duchy.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, okay, so how many wayfarers do we see? One, two, three, four, five, six. No,
I'm
we saw seven. So JNails does not really have draw down there. JNails has, I think, one more paddock,
is
but
it does yurikamome have the six buys in deck or or five? You would only if you get the duchy, then you're kind of well then it's enough for a tie.
hmm,
Is who's first player? Oh
okay.
no, yeah, the you yurikamome went first, so tie is not good enough.
So JNails goes for the
But
cartographer.
yeah, Ronda's making it really hard. Yeah, it is making it very hard to score points.
Yeah. Hmm.
On top of the fact that uh, there already wasn't a lot of room for stop cards in this kingdom.
Hmm. All right. So Yuri is stopped here. This looks like mm, either
Do you dare
province.
take a province?
I mean, you definitely take a province here. You can't. I don't think Yuri can beat three provinces from JNails at this point, anyways. And
Yeah.
also Yuri knows that JNails is very low on draw in this part of the deck. So I would say province duchy cartographer is the way to go.
Yeah, the decks have fallen apart for sure. Yeah, the deck quality is I don't know how likely it would be to actually draw out the whole deck enough to triple,
Yeah,
especially since JNails got rid of a gold.
that's true. And I mean, I'm not even sure if it's possible for JNails to get around to the end of the shuffle. It depends on how many cantrips are left in the deck. I guess there's no wayfarers. There's no wayfarers down there. I think we decided. There's a paddock. So he can trigger the shuffle if he finds the paddock off the cartographer for sure. But if the paddock is in the bottom five cards, or yeah, I mean if the paddock is in the bottom, well, we'll see what happens. But if he triggers the shuffle, I mean if he triggers the shuffle, it's really good because then you triggered the shuffle, which has all the wayfare. It's really good for your next turn, at least. But it's going to be hard to accomplish that much this turn.
I would expect Yuri would want to have uh, at least a tie in points at this point. Uh, because otherwise, Paddock and three Hamlets is only 11 coins.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I would definitely take the duchy. He could be thinking about taking another province. It's definitely tempting. I think JNails is
Yeah,
somewhat unlikely to get to double this turn. I don't exactly know
yeah,
what's on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, knowing JNails' hand for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, JNails has like a really good hand given what was in his deck.
Yeah,
Ooh, he goes for the Hamlet too. All right. Now
that's
JNails.
actually a little risky, I feel. But
Yeah, yeah. So now JNails needs. Uh,
nine. Uh, maybe not so risky.
yeah. I suppose it's not. I mean, it's five.
It's a
It's
lot.
9, 11. I mean, you're risking. Yeah, I guess you're not risking anything since if you could empty the piles, you could also double basically.
Yeah, yeah, in the event where, yeah, so there's no reason not to.
Hmm. Huh. Really saving that cartographer.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why he. Well, I mean, I know why he discarded the cards for plus action. I mean, he didn't realize that he didn't have any Wayfarers left in the shuffle, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep track at this point what you have.
well, I mean, he played them all last turn, you know. It's something you should keep track of. I don't know why he left the cartographer so late. It doesn't, well, yeah, I
He,
mean, it's sort of been,
discarding cards and then playing the cartographer is like counterproductive.
yeah. I mean, it's mostly just the. I mean, this order makes sense if you know that this turn isn't going to do anything, but then that is inconsistent with discarding cards to the Hamlets, so it's a little bit uh, unsure. I don't know if it's GG, but you know, um, it's not a good spot. I mean, Yuri could easily dud as well, and then JNails has a reasonable chance at a good turn. But I think I mean, Yuri has, I think, 3 paddocks left down here, so it'll be hard for him to not hit Province at least. I don't know if he has the buys for the pile out. Top deck's 2 trackers.
Trackers.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, you're just playing them as Ox.
I guess. Is that better than a poet? I don't know.
Well, I mean, two things that can be an Ox is better than one when you just have most of your villages in the discard pile now.
Yeah, that's true. There were a lot of Hamlets there. All right, this is in hand now.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's extra in hand.
Yeah, just got to make sure.
Does he not see it? It's a little bit concerning that you're thinking about it at that point, but I'm sure he'll look now. Okay, well, this is just 2 provinces.
There we
That
go.
also ends the game. All right, definitely another good game, interesting board.
Yeah, it got real messy there,
Hmm.
but it's tied up now.
Yep. All
New
right,
table.
on to the new table.
looks like we're in to game three.
Yep. What do we got here? No
Leprechaun
villages.
in collection. Yeah, no villages. Uh, that's very relevant.
Definitely. Yeah, kind of limited collection stuff you can do.
Yeah, all the actions are kind of expensive,
hmm
and you can't really draw
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everything's terminal. This is a kind of sad looking board.
Indeed. Getting to seven looks like the most important thing.
Yeah, expand is gonna be nice for trashing, and then also um, when you're in this kind of limited kingdom, being able to remodel provinces and remodel things into provinces is usually pretty important.
hmm hmm Yeah, so what do we open? The 5-2. Hmm. 5-2 doesn't look great. I'm
Yeah,
tempted
it's kind of
to just take Forum and just hope to get through the shuffle
yeah,
quickly.
yeah. I'm thinking like forum or maybe legionary if you're trying to like be like, well, that's 3 coins. Maybe I can hit 70
Yeah, yeah.
if
I
I'm
mean,
really lucky. I don't know.
definitely the thought does occur that you could get Legionary, but I don't think it's good.
Catacombs almost does the same thing though. Not
Yeah.
really though,
I mean,
because there's probably going to be an estate in there.
the Legionary attack
You'd
is
have to
like
draw
pretty
full.
good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean when you can't increase your hand size, legionary is a pretty strong attack.
Yeah. I mean, I think it competes too much with Expand, but it's worth thinking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I think the fourth re is a lot nicer. You can open Mill plus Gear or even Mill plus Ducat.
Yeah.
But like if you can discard with Mill and then Owl the Gear, then that looks like the easiest way to get to seven. Or I mean it's the
Oh
fastest
yeah,
way to get to seven if you're lucky.
that's pretty yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. It's like pretty close to guaranteed to hit seven if you draw them together. Maybe not. No, I mean, no, you're sort of likely to just hit six still. I don't know. Gear is just such a good uh, hand smoother.
Yeah, and gear on its own is pretty good at helping hit 7.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, like if you do gear mill and set aside the mill and a copper and you have 2 estates, maybe that gets you there.
yeah, definitely. This time there's actually a reason to maybe only play two coppers, so we'll let it slide this time.
Yeah, this time it has a function. Playing that third copper could close some doors on your opening hand, on your opening buys.
Yeah, you'd have to like ask for it undo, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not actually embarrassing, but you know.
Does Wave the Owl not really negate it? I don't know, because I mean maybe if your deck's mostly money.
Yeah.
because owl is terminal, so it's like what are you drawing down there?
Yeah, on this board you really want like a bunch of forums, and then you don't want to be like playing a bunch of forums and then owling. That doesn't really work very well.
Well, if you draw like six ducats with the with the owl, then it's only six. Uh,
Yeah, there you go. You can buy a province every other turn.
yeah,
But the main thing is just that, collection is so strong that you want, you're planning to have a bunch of actions in your deck at some point for sure. So
yeah.
at that point, doing the owl is going to be uh, suboptimal. All right, Yuri goes for the gear, presumably the mill to go with it. Although I guess you could take second gear. It's not crazy. Does go for mill. JNails sees the forum right away, which is nice. Probably will take collection here, I would guess. Oh no, just goes for a gear.
Oh,
Okay,
gear
interesting.
totally wants expand.
Yep. I mean, everyone wants expand.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, I mean, with if you take collection, then it's not possible for you to hit seven next turn. But it's also, I mean, it's not completely impossible to hit seven. Or actually, no, it is completely impossible. I mean, yeah, neither of them lets you hit seven on the next turn, so it's not
yeah.
clear which one is better in that sense. Here, I'd be tempted to take the ducat in Yuri's position here. Okay, just second mill. I mean, that's fine too.
Like the mill first,
Oh, there we go.
and
Good,
then you.
good.
Oh wow, that was uh draws two coppers in an estate. Uh, I don't know how lucky that is, but
Yeah, I
it
mean,
worked.
what was in the
So it's hard to
discard?
question.
Discard was four coppers and three estates at that point, I think. Or no,
And a mill.
and the mill. Yeah, that's true. And you knew you had a copper on top. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
you. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's relevant to have the copper on top when you only need
Yeah,
the extra.
then you only need one copper. So you have two looks at basically a 50-50 or close to a
Yeah,
50-50. Yeah.
I mean those odds are good enough when like the upside is you get expand this turn. Like that's pretty impactful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the downside is like you do make this kind of bad shuffle, but since you didn't draw the mill,
Yeah,
it's okay. Like if you drew the mill dead there, then it would have then the shuffle would be pretty unbearable. But
yeah,
at
it'd be
least
very
at least
sad.
at least if you didn't get the expand out of it. Huh. Goes for silver. Don't like silver really, but
Yeah.
it's not like getting a ducat was going to really change the world there either.
A ritual here?
I mean,
Yeah, that's a unconventional move. I can respect it.
I definitely wouldn't expect to see ritual on this board, but I also really didn't expect it to see it on the last board either, and we did. So, all right. Bad draw for JNails here to not find an estate with his expand.
We make some progress expanding a copper into a ducat. It trash another copper, get closer to the uh, maximum ducat plan. Oh, well, that works too.
We're just slowly going up the
Yeah,
ladder.
that looks significantly better to
Hmm.
have a collection in your deck.
Yeah, it's funny to see them do this extremely gradual incremental improvement on turn 8 when the other games we saw were already, very late in the end game at this point.
Yeah. What was it like? It was like 8 or 9 turns on the first game.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And then the last one, I mean, the end game took a while, but they had already, like piled
The
m-
wafers were gone
the
like
Wayfarers were
right
gone.
away.
And I think by turn 9, the last paddock that was going to be bought was bought as well. The main tension on this board is like, when do you get collections versus forums, which, is sort of about how important you think that the collection split is going to be, which doesn't look super important to me, given the problems with draw.
Yeah. It's looking like the priority has been to get rid of the coppers with buying ducat so that it's less terrible to expand the coppers
Yeah.
because you've converted them to 2 cost.
I mean, they really just don't have a lot of options. There's been a lot of, $3 and $4 hands that you just don't have anything else to do with unless, because I mean, the mill doesn't really help your deck do anything. You don't want silvers. I mean, so ducat is clearly better than silver, given that they're both going to be expand food in the long run, you would
Yeah.
think. I guess there's kind of a natural cadence to get the collections off of your expand plays and the forums off your buy, given that one of those gives you points.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be doing both anyways, you might as well get points for it.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, the points definitely matter, I mean, there's once you get to the point where you're buying gears and leprechauns and stuff to trigger your collections, you're not really happy about it. I don't know about soon piling, but
Yeah, I don't know about soon, but eventually,
I mean, 5 turns I wouldn't say is soon. That's really quite a long time away. Unless you mean 5 turns in terms of like turns taken by people instead of dual turns, if you understand what I mean. I think they'll each get like maybe 2 to 3 more
yeah,
turns
that's
at
a
this
lot of
point.
points.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Yuri is almost certainly going to win this game.
Yeah, getting the expand earlier.
Yeah, and then just
Um,
better draws after that too.
yeah,
I'm kind of surprised that Yuri went for double gear. It's like I don't really see the advantage of taking extra gears over taking a mill at this point.
uh, more collection points.
Yeah, I mean you get 2 more points, but you get significantly worse cards in your deck.
Yeah, I think what JNails seems to be doing is accumulating some coffers for like a big collection turn. Maybe I don't know.
That seems to that
That's
seems
probably the way to come back.
yeah, yeah. Trying to
However, we can see that there's 5 collections in hand for Yuri, so this is uh, probably going to start uh, becoming difficult to catch up.
yeah, I mean with only 3 collections, JNails can't really threaten to outpoint or out mostly to outpoint.
Ritual's still there, yeah.
And that's
Ritual's gonna do something for sure.
I mean, given that JNails is definitely paying attention to it, as we know from the last game, it wouldn't completely surprise me to see like a form ritualed. Yeah, it's a really bad spot. Like you have to take the collection there, and then
And
you
what do you
don't.
buy to not lose?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can buy to not lose. You just sort of have to
Have to
hope.
accept it.
Yeah, well, you just sort of have to hope that Yuri just draws like the 5 coppers or whatever that are left in the deck.
Oh, well, that's 3 of them.
Well, yeah, I
Oh,
mean, draw them without seeing a forum.
well, that's not an ideal hand.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little awkward for sure. I guess you just discard gear plus expand and play a gear, and then you buy like a bunch of gears or a bunch of mills, depending on how much money exactly you have. Okay, just 2 mills, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's not a that's not really a spot you can come back from.
hmm hmm Yeah, pretty unfortunate for JNails with the 5-2 there. And now Yuri will get 2 starts on the back part, so it looks pretty good for him to at least get to the tiebreaker game. Hasty bureaucrat. I mean,
The attack part actually works because they're always gonna have it as state. Well, not necessarily, I guess.
I would not say
You
it's
could.
good. I mean, you definitely
It's not.
you definitely can. it's not like terrible, but I don't think it's good either. It is funny. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's amusing, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would just open like priest plus sailor, I think. That's my first thought.
Yeah, that is yeah, Sailor and Priest seems pretty good. It's hard to uh, do much better than two pretty decent trashing cards that don't conflict with each other.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's something to be said for like doing priest plus fishing village and keeping the coffer because like the fives are good. Like you definitely want seer, and I'm not too worried about trashing because eventually sea trade will be very good at like cleaning up whatever's left over.
Oh yeah, and Priest and Sea Trait has a really funny thing sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can try and do it. I mean, you have Druid with Field's Gift. I mean, it's not like good plus buy, but it's not the worst plus buy ever.
Well, I mean, when Seer can just hoover it up, it's probably fine.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like hard to it's hard to go really big, I think.
Yeah.
Like if the druid had Forest Gift, that would be better because like you need food, for the priests and the sea trades if you're gonna try and do that sort of thing.
With Bureaucrat gives the food.
Yeah, I know. The hasty bureaucrat
It's the answer. It's been
coming
staring us in the face.
coming to our yeah.
Yeah, Bureaucrat Seer combo. But I'll be happy if I see them go for Bureaucrat. It'll
I
be
mean
fun.
I mean I would expect a bureaucrat to be gained at some point in this game. I just would not do it in the opening.
Yeah.
Okay, it takes
Oh,
the
the
fishing
fishing
village.
village.
Presumably we'll see fishing village plus priest. Although you could also like you could take a displace or something. I mean, displace looks like a reasonably good card here.
Place into Bureaucrat.
Yeah, I mean if you want to leverage the bureaucrat, then the displace is clearly the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bureaucrat does provide displace fodder.
You can
It's
also
true.
use displace to gain bureaucrat. It's like a loop.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Bureaucrat loop.
Yeah, JNails is, I guess, thinking about displace here. That would be my assumption.
Social status.
I mean, it's true. It does give you style points. Definitely, bureaucrat is definitely
Yes.
just like whenever you've gained that card, you've got some style points. All right, it does go for the displace.
All right, there's already some significant differences in the order in which they're getting stuff.
Hmm. JNL's going for the sailors, which is interesting. I don't really like the sailors here. Like they're fine, but I wouldn't prioritize them like this, I guess.
Yeah, I tend to think of priest as being a bit stronger though if it's competing with displace, but at the same time there's fishing village and fishing village just is pretty good for making sure that you have enough actions.
Yeah. And you want one of priest or sailor to trash coppers, and I don't really see like other than being terminal sailor. I mean, the thing about sailor is that sailor can be really good if you're using the, play a duration automatically, but there's not really any high value durations to do that with here. As a trasher, it's just like very slow. So will we see a bureaucrat here? I mean, uh, not expect it, but you could be thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean it'll do something next turn.
It will do something next turn. I mean, none of the other options you can say that about.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it is
Uh,
the bureaucrat.
all right, there we go. And we're off.
The bureaucracy begins.
And it's pretty likely to get a hit too.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna displace now, huh, JNails?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. Notably, it looks like the seer missed the shuffle.
hmm hmm Still like a pretty good turn for Yuri. He can buy another seer, or yeah, I mean probably another seer realistically.
Yeah. At this point, I'd be just like trying to draw into the displaced priest thing as much as I can.
Yeah, like as JNails, I would want to go ahead and take the Winds Gift here. Just try and find your displace. Even if you're displacing, just wind up displacing copper into okay. Maybe gonna go for a C trade here. I mean that's reasonable too. Okay, playing the fifth copper or the other copper means not a C trade. Okay, undoing that. Yeah, okay, C trade it is. Yeah, that makes sense. It's I mean trashing three cards is strong. Trying to avoid the bureaucrat attack is also worth doing.
Yeah, it's devastating.
I mean, it's pretty bad if you look at your hand and you go from five cards to four and you anti-cycle in a state and you can't do anything with your displace, then that would be serious.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I guess displacing a copper into a druid isn't like the worst thing, but it's nowhere near as good as displacing an estate.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's basically just like it's sort of like making a ducat. We had the ducat thing last game, and now we have a very similar thing going on this game. All right, it seems like Jane has decided to take the chances with the bureaucrat and play the fifth copper out. I don't know. I mean, I think I would C trade here. I'm kind of a big fan of C trade. It's like okay, it goes for fishing
Oh,
village plus
artist.
artist. All right.
Oh, here comes the bureaucrat. It worked, but there's two estates, so it wasn't actually all that bad.
Yeah,
Although it's kind of bad.
could definitely be worse.
Yeah.
Yuri gets the patrol, which is going to leave him over terminaled, I think. Yeah.
That's interesting. I would have thought that Seer would have been the way to go, but I guess Seer totally missed hitting anything that he would want anyways. So
Yeah.
it ended up being fine and actually better. So
I mean, I understand the like why you would want
Yeah.
patrol instead of seer, but when you already have a bunch of uh,
Oh,
terminals in your deck,
that
yeah,
was a really good C trade.
yeah, Sea Trade is just a really good card, you know.
Turns out 4 coins for removing 4 coppers is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I mean, it's obviously not as strong as Donate in general because you can't buy it on turn two productively, but you know, eventually it trashes a lot of cards for not very much money.
Well, artist non-terminally drew 4 cards, so that's pretty good.
I mean, Artist is definitely a really good draw card on this board.
Yeah, for sure. When you've got I mean, Sailor definitely helps with that in being a duration. So,
Hmm. Hmm. All right, JNails has now got his very own bureaucrat, which
oh boy,
we'll miss. We won't, you know, don't get that attack value out of it, but it will gain a silver. That is certain to happen.
silvers are really important.
So now you probably, it's an interesting decision what to displace. I would probably displace the priest here, but like displace priest, play bureaucrat, and then play druid with Sea's gift to draw the silver.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Because what's down there? There's the patrol, and I don't know what else. Is it
Yeah,
is it a silver?
there's one silver down there, and then maybe just another copper. Yeah, I think it has to be another copper.
Yeah, because the estate was trash.
Hmm.
So yeah. Uh, and so with knowing that the patrol is down there, uh, just considering whether to try and extend the turn a bit more or just uh, do stuff with what you have in your hand right now.
Yeah, I mean the problem is like, I mean playing the patrol costs you an action, and you're still over terminals, so
Yeah,
I would much
especially
rather
since
leave it down there and have it to kick off next turn, I
yeah,
think.
that seems a lot more useful.
Hmm. It's maybe worth it. Well, hmm. I mean, you get one more coin by playing the priest rather than the displace, obviously, and then you could buy like fishing village plus artist. I don't know. Getting rid of the priest when you only have two coppers left is tempting, but also those coppers will be very annoying. All right, yeah, two fishing
Oh,
villages. It makes sense. You need fishing villages to play your terminals. That's what that card does.
yeah,
JNails definitely sad to not find one of his two artists in this hand.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, why keep the copper when you could have kept another silver and paid off one more debt?
What
Or
he
did
didn't.
I or did I
No,
no, I missed something.
he kept the copper over a sailor because he wants alternating
Oh,
sailors.
okay. Yes, toss the second sailor. I got confused as to which thing was discarded.
Yeah.
Oh, toss the second sailor for artist. Yeah, because otherwise artist draws less. Yeah, you put displace in front, so the seer draws more, probably.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're not playing the displace this turn. Or, I mean, you still could with the druid, but this is.
I guess
Well,
the
no, no.
awkward thing being that bureaucrat puts a silver in front of the displace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to draw all this and the silver and another card off druid. I don't think it matters too much. I mean, I think I'm pretty happy to use the displace this turn to gain another draw card, and then it doesn't really matter whether you draw the draw card or not.
yeah, you're just forcing it onto the top of your deck, kinda, which is good. Well, I guess you're
Yeah,
not because you're playing the seer first.
yeah. I mean, it would have been really nice to find the displace first. Okay, gonna use the druid here to Wind's Gift. Okay, yeah. I mean, this gives you more juice off the seer. It's a good line. It just costs you your ability to play the priest and the bureaucrat unless you gain another fishing village. Or no, there's another fishing village at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's another fishing village at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all went nicely. Did have to leave a silver on top, but that's not too bad.
Um, Probably want another druid here, even though it doesn't quite.
Hmm.
Uh, there's only two buys, and you're starting to get a lot of money.
Yeah, but you probably want to buy artists at some point, and those are very expensive.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that. Just keep doing the displace cycling. Like if I'm in Yuri's spot here, I probably am thinking that this turn I want to maybe even gain province and go like province plus artist, and then I can start going deeper into the displaced chains.
Yeah, this this place can start depleting provinces pretty quick when you just go between province and gold a lot.
Hmm. Hmm. And also it just gains you a bunch of golds, which is
Yeah.
helpful. Also, it puts the provinces in exile where the bureaucrat can't hit them.
Oh yeah. It's protected from the bureaucrat's attack.
Hmm.
Take one baker. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean you already have two. Yeah, you already have two artists, so it's
kind of may as
kind of doing
well.
more than just one thing.
Mhm. All right, so JNails will have a lot of overdraw for sure, which is always nice with displace. Yuri is a little bit ahead on thinning and also having displaces, but Yuri sort of, I think, really needs to start getting artists here also.
Yeah, it's seeming like the patrol and seer thing is creating some awkward situations.
Yeah, I mean, it just like, I mean, the seer drew 4 cards, but it's just still not getting through the deck completely.
Yeah, I
I guess,
mean, JNails artists drew 4 and 5 or something, or 4 and 4, so
mhm.
it's similar, but um, I guess the other thing is if you're committing to a lot of okay, well the baker indicates that artists are probably coming.
Yeah, I mean, at some point it's going to be like just the best value draw card that you can buy. The only temptation would be to try and not buy draw cards and just use displace, but you have a good number of things that you want your displace to be doing. I mean, this second patrol here really wants to be a seer. It's probably a mistake on Yuri's part to not get that. All right, gets the gold now, sure.
But one of these buys is probably an artist.
Yeah, buys a
There we
province
go.
too. Okay. Yeah, this province looks pretty bad in this hand.
Yeah, there's two artists. If it was two artists, then that would have been an artist for sure.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking probably I would take like artist plus seer, if not two
Yeah, that would have been
artists.
good too.
Yeah.
I can see the province being good though. Just being able to. I mean, if you already have a gold though, maybe not quite needed to actually buy a province. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
it seemed really aggressive to me to get the gold and the province.
Now the province is going to be taken away from you with the bureaucrat.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is actually really bad.
That's so mean. Why does the bureaucracy do this?
Yeah. Yeah, JNails should definitely be in a commanding position now with this dud. Okay, cycling more displaces. I would think that you probably take the sailor into a gold now.
No, you need the sailor to make sure that the artists draw.
You don't have to play it. It's not
You
like
have to.
it's not like there's a law that says you have to play it. You have other cards
It's
which you can play.
it's the sailor's code. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play it.
I mean, you can also turn this baker into a gold. It's also fine, I suppose.
Rude to priest. Ah,
Hmm. I mean, seems fine. I don't think I would do it. It seems kind of too cautious. I mean, obviously it's fine in the context of we know that Yuri has a dud, but JNails doesn't know that and probably has to be a little bit more aggressive.
rude to more bureaucrats. Don't- It would be fun though. Oh,
Yeah, C trade. Oh, no C trade. Okay. Boldly
I
believes
would
that
have
the
been a little
coppers are not a
surprised.
problem.
The pre-C trade. I would approve of that, even though it might not be the right thing to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean it just makes your C trade free, I guess. It's like fine, it's not that exciting.
If there were more buys, yeah. Probably just get another province. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, take province by artist.
Yeah,
Or you could also displace silver into displace. It might work
I
out
don't know.
similarly in the
I
end.
think you just gotta assume your deck is gonna work next turn.
Oh yeah, looks
It's a
like
dud. Oh,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, when you have these
JNails didn't even draw any of the copper.
that's true.
With four artists. Oh
I
no.
I mean these decks are pretty duddy. It's like I mean they have really powerful draw cards, but yeah. All right. Are we gonna see another successful bureaucrat attack? Probably not. I assume you just
Come
displace the
on,
bureaucrat
bureaucrat.
yet.
JNails, you should just know, have the just know that you put the province there last time.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember, you put the province there. You'll hit again. It'll be so good.
I mean, it's not crazy knowing that you did it to
Yeah,
try
you
and
already
force
have
another
six.
dud.
You already have six money. You can buy another artist to make sure you really don't dud.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Except that doesn't really.
yeah. At some point, there's diminishing returns on your enormous overdraw, even with all the displaces.
Yeah. At some point, you need to get points before the game ends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I would displace this into a duchy now, but
Yeah, it would probably be a gold.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, another baker.
Baker.
Did have the baker in
To,
exile.
to get the Baker out of exile.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if that's worth it. I don't think the baker in exile was holding you back that much. Yep, so Yuri's
Oh,
off
that
to
was
the
a good
races
suit.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking very good.
Oh, Yance is here. I'm surprised Yance hasn't chastised anyone for not setting up draw cards with the Wins gift yet. That's what his job in Spec Chat is. I mean, maybe there's not been a chance, but like, you could create a chance. You could, you know, I'm sure that there was some sequence of decisions from the start of a turn that would have ended up like that, but I don't know. Like J Nails had a lot of overdraw last turn. He could have definitely tried to set something up. I'm not saying it's correct, but he could have done it.
Yeah, displacing Sailor. Except you have to play the Sailor. can't displace it.
That's true. That's true. There's a tension there between the sailor's law and the law of always having to set up your turns.
All right. Plus 6 cards. Yeah, that's plenty. It's plenty for the artist.
Yeah. Here's a little limited one he can do this turn with only this one more displace. I mean, I'm really eager to get rid of this bureaucrat. Like, I think it has definitely served its purpose.
What? But Bureaucrat can draw an additional card with artist if you keep it around.
That's true. But if you get rid of it, then you can gain a new one, and you can employ the hasty trick to make it.
Oh, yeah, right. Why would you ever play it when you can just buy it or
Yeah,
gain it?
exactly, exactly.
It's because this bureaucrat is so fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think bureaucrat to displace here makes sense, and then
It's almost like a duration for the artist
yeah, exactly.
if you just have one at the end. For the artist to draw an extra silver.
Mhm. Yeah, so you draw an extra silver every turn. So you've just created
Bureaucrat is basically a grand market, except without the buy. So
and also it's terminal. Or no, I guess it's not terminal because you do it. Well, except it costs four per turn. So you spend four you spend four to get two back. It's you're just gaining a silver along the way.
it's cheap grand market. Yeah,
That's true. It's hard to resist.
yeah. Can't say no to cheap grand market,
Mhm, mhm,
but like double cheap because it's only 4 instead of 6.
mhm.
All right. So with 2 buys and uh 2 money plus 8 plus 6. Well, that's enough to buy 2 provinces straight up. Um, but then you're displacing something. I guess uh, yurikamome is trying to decide exactly how much to do with the extra actions. There's one extra action, I guess, if you're not displacing the bureaucrat.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean the question is, do you want to um, because you only have two buys, it's pretty tempting to displace gold into province and buy province artist instead of buying two provinces. The-
Exiling a province
yeah, yeah, it makes sense. You can get a
into displace. I don't know.
yeah into displace or into just a draw card. Yeah. Oof. Gets the exact same hand as the last stud. That's
Oh
that's
my god! How? How did this happen?
that's pretty brutal.
Things were going so well. Playing for the no duds and dud anyway. That's why you have to. That's why you just have to get the most points possible because you're gonna dud anyways. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, although it can be better to have fewer points here. I mean, if you knew you were going to give JNails 2 turns, you might prefer there to be four provinces in the pile rather than three.
The moral of the story is that art is bad. What?
I mean, I think the moral of the story is that these yellow stop cards are bad, but
Yeah,
I mean, the moral of the story is that Yuri doesn't have enough art in his life.
exactly. If you have enough art, like who has more artists here? JNails does, and JNails isn't having any problems drawing his whole deck, except for that last turn where he had a bit of a dud. Don't think about that one.
Mhm. Yes, that's a good point. We can easily set up for next turn now, so we should do that.
Art
Yeah,
is just propaganda.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, JNail's deck doesn't really isn't still isn't really doing that much. Like he can't double province here.
Yeah, not looking like there's a whole lot of money there.
Yeah, I mean he's overdrawing by like 50, but it's still not. Yeah.
Art is propaganda trying to convince you life is beautiful. Don't fall for it. What?
I don't know. You could
If
look at
life isn't beautiful, then how did we get hasty bureaucrats in this match?
it's a valid point. I mean, you can look at the Baker art. I don't think the message of that art is that life is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't. The baker does not look very happy.
Yeah. We get more hasty bureaucrat action. Very exciting. Yeah, it's an interesting decision for JNLs here
These are
because
duchies.
I mean,
We're getting duchies.
yeah, well, I mean, JNLs, if JNLs takes a province here, then if Yuri
Yeah,
doesn't have a
that's
dud,
pretty.
then he loses. So he can't really take
Yeah,
the province. I mean, he can, but it's very risky.
very scary.
Yeah. So I mean, Yuri still has a chance here because I don't know if JNails can get four provinces next turn.
It's possible through the power of art.
Yeah. I mean,
If
what would
he,
it
I don't know.
if he buys gold now? Yeah, that's true because he has four displaces now. Is that enough?
Discarding the bureaucrat from exile.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he should. JNL should buy gold here. That seems reasonable. I don't know why you would discard the bureaucrat from exile.
I mean, the bureaucrat works so hard, putting the
Yeah,
province on top. Probably doesn't deserve to be uh, away from the kingdom for too long.
yeah, yeah. All right. So here, I guess you just go province to duchy. Yeah.
Does JNails have another dud somehow?
Oh man, you're right. Yeah, I didn't even look at his hand. Well, no, because he has two druids. He can play the druids. It's not.
It's possible to salvage it,
I
but there's
mean,
gonna be a silver on top, so
there is
it's
going to be a
gonna
seller.
be
Yeah. I mean, he looks at three cards. It's still like pretty unlikely
If
that.
only he had set up this turn by top decking a seer, exactly.
Yeah. Well, then he wouldn't. Then would still just have like no threat at four provinces.
I'd be tempted to just do province to Dachi or something. I don't know. But that doesn't really do a lot. I don't know.
I mean, nothing really does a lot.
That's true. The futility of this turn.
Probably the thing to do is, yeah, I mean, probably the one thing that you can do to improve your chances is to make sure that you can win if JNails takes like three provinces and some duchies or something. So just going for points makes sense.
Yeah, just Dutchy, something like that.
Yeah, the seer is like okay-ish.
Is Seer really better than Artist there? Probably not.
Yeah, no,
Or
I'm not.
well, the pile. It might be the pile is relevant because
Yeah,
there's
that's
only
true.
one, and all you need to do is take up the debt, and there's only four displaces or five duchies or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
I could see being afraid of the artist pile becoming the end of the game.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. The choice of what to gain there is seems very unlikely to sway this game, but you never know.
JNails going AFK for a bit, probably expecting Yuri's turn to take a while, and then Yuri has a dud.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, and
All
there's
right.
the artist.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm guessing JNels can uh, figure out a win this turn.
Yeah, if not a win, probably a spot that is very difficult for uh, Yuri to come back.
Mm,
If not a win, a loss. Yeah, exactly. Because if he doesn't win or effectively win, then I don't know.
yeah. I can't really imagine the draw that JNels would have that lets them not win, but yes, get enough points to not lose. Assuming that Yuri doesn't dud again, which is very possible.
Achi, artist. Yeah, practically actionless. One more action. I mean,
I mean, yes, 4 times 3 is greater than 5. That would also win. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's probably very close, if not in hand already. Well, yeah, yeah,
there's another village. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Well, with
yeah.
three displaces, uh, there's got to be a win here.
Yeah, it's in hand easily. You just displace gold into province and buy 2 provinces. Had enough for 5.
Well then, that was a interesting game. I was not expecting there to be so many duds.
Yeah, it's the kind of game that can definitely happen. But yeah, Yuri definitely had some bad luck to get 2 like that.
Well, that ties it up again. It's two apiece.
Yep. JNails just needs zero point 0.5 more wins and is off to what looks like a bad start with a 2-5 on this cathedral
Ooh,
board.
yeah. 251 Cathedral is suboptimal.
For sure.
And it doesn't look like this is the sort of board where Cathedral's going to be uh, bad at some point, because I mean, you could even have like Artificer just gain a copper on top of your deck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very easy
Uh,
to do something like that. Yeah. And I mean, Yuri can open Cathedral into Journey, and then you just like trash 2 estates right away. It should be very strong.
yeah, that seems quite good. Not having estates in your deck that quickly, generally a recommended strategy.
Hmm. Hmm. What
You
do you
could
do?
even do
Yeah,
I don't know if it's that bad yet. Resign.
I would probably resign. I mean, I don't know if I would resign in this situation. I mean, I would 100% resign like on ladder. I would probably resign in a normal league game. I mean, it's definitely resignable. Like maybe you wait just to see if like your opponent decides to skip Cathedral or do something stupid, but even if they do skip Cathedral, and even if they open, like Yuri could open, Steward Journey, which I think is suboptimal, but also puts you way ahead.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be better even because you're not. I mean, the problem is you're not guaranteed to see the Steward. If you could somehow be sure that you would see the Steward on the Journey turn, then that would be very strong. But the risk is significant that you don't see it.
I mean, double mountain trying to not care about cathedral because you have a bunch of coppers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Enlightenment. I don't know. It's tough to see much to do here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just open replace. I mean, replace hostelry is at least like a strong interaction.
Um, yeah, I mean that's I'm just trying to think about if enlightenment like makes the hostelry thing any better, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, hostelry is just like a card that you want.
Yeah. Nothing cathedral. Yeah, that seems fine. Well, by fine I mean uh you still have cathedral on the second turn, you just don't have any other cards.
Yeah, I would not open nothing cathedral. You have to try and high roll.
Yeah. You're behind, you gotta take risks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no reason to open without the journey. That's just free money. Okay, it does go
Oh,
for the
the
steward.
steward.
Interesting.
Well, what's the risk of missing on the journey, like hitting a steward? I don't know.
It's pretty low.
Well, it didn't happen,
It didn't
so.
happen. Okay, interesting. Does not trash. Really wants
Oh,
this.
this is not at all what I expected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is, yeah, this is kind of, hmm.
But somehow at the end of it,
I
I
mean,
think, yeah, I think it's mm, kind of even after the same number of turns. Right? Wait,
no,
is
no,
JNails
there's
first
no,
or second?
JNails is first.
JNails? Oh, okay, never mind.
I mean, Yuri
Yeah,
is way ahead still.
yeah.
I mean, this is a fairly unlucky hand for Yuri here.
I mean, I'm assuming that the plan was to skip Cathedral if you open Steward,
Yeah,
but now what is Silver? Okay.
yeah. And then now you presumably are going to buy Journey again. I mean, I would say that hitting three is really good in this kingdom because it lets you buy Cathedral, one of the strongest Dominion card-shaped objects.
I suppose Cathedral having a bit of negative interaction with Artificer might have factored into the decision to skip it.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not, like,
I'm just struggling
yeah.
to.
It's not clear to me that Artificer is a better gainer than like Jester, in the sort of medium term. All right, we're just really avoiding trashing on this board where there's lots of good trashing. It's very interesting.
Oh, the
JNails,
Mountain Shrine is already active, so that's interesting. Cathedral player versus Cathedral skipper just gets to do cultist.
I mean, the trashing is still pretty good without Cathedral. I don't know if I would bother spending time on Cultist. Cultist is sort of more interesting as a draw card than an attack, yeah. But well, I mean, I guess with no plus buy, does it really matter? I mean, the ruin market is right there. I shouldn't ignore the ruin market. Yeah, yeah. I see a ruin market. did they both get Artificer because they want to gain the Ruined Market? Are we going to get Ruined Market chicken? I mean, I guess the Ruined Market chicken has already technically begun.
Oh, this is a turn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need the plus by Brepert, but I was thinking, in terms of comparing the different draw cards, like the advantage of Mountain Shrine over Cultist, other than the trashing, is that it gives you coins. I can't believe I saw Lemon Spawn say that Rune Market doesn't look good. I'm shocked.
Is Lemon Spawn a known Ruined Market fan?
Yes, I mean, I respect it. I also enjoy a good Rune Market.
Yeah, I mean it's plus buy
Yeah,
for 0.
yeah. I mean, it's just a beautiful card. It's so simple. Yeah, you have to go on a journey here. I think you just like discard nothing, trash estate, go on a journey, or you can discard four. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean if you're
if
not
you
going to be trashing a ton, then why aren't you going on some journeys? Steward.
I did not figure out why JNails replaced Stewart instead of Estate.
I I think it was to make Mountain Shrine draw. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
that's true, but also, well, it didn't work at least in the sense that you would definitely rather have Mountain Shrine be off right now.
Oh. This is not ideal.
Yeah, this is not a very fun journey. You know, I
This is the worst. This is the worst. Uh, what are they doing there? Worst journey of all time is stuck. I guess trading a copper for an estate, maybe putting a curse out.
yeah, I mean it's not. I would probably just buy another hostelry over doing that.
This is the worst trip I've ever been on. I I'm assuming that's a reference to something that I don't get. Oh, Beach Boys. I have not seen that.
Yeah, being here on turn 8 with no estates trashed is pretty. I mean, obviously JNails do not have good luck, but like, it's an avoidable situation.
I mean, it's got to be a hot take. This is the league championship.
Yeah,
The best of the best. This is like, you know, JNails was going for a high roll or something with the. I mean, I don't envy having to figure out the 5-2.
yeah. I mean, I think what he did on the 5-2 was fine. Like, it's not exactly what I would have done, but I think it's like defensible. I just, like the decisions after that, like to not get Cathedral at any point, to not trash an estate over the steward.
You could think JNails for the activated shrine. I guess so, because this time there's actually actions for it.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it to play the horse to draw replace plus estate and then replace estate into hostelry and then go from there. I mean, it
Oh, well, it's still,
doesn't really matter, I guess, because you can't redraw the hostelry profitably.
yeah, it still somehow managed to be awkward.
Yeah, I mean, the sequence with Yuri drawing all those coppers and no horses last turn was slightly unfortunate, but also completely avoidable by buying Cathedral on turn one.
The plan is, yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, I would trash estate into hostelry, discard a copper, trash a copper, buy a hostelry. I mean, there's a lot of like exciting things going on this board, but ultimately you are like in some sense limited by the number of villages you have. So,
Yeah, yeah, that seems like the limiting factor. So you probably want to be getting as many villages as you can.
mhm. Okay, once another artificer. It's like that seems kind of aggressive to me because you just don't have that much draw yet.
Oh no, I don't, I don't understand what's happening.
Well, what happened is JNails triggered a really bad shuffle by discarding a bunch of cards and then journeying into those cards.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that. That's just
No, I mean, yeah,
this game is not at all what I expected.
yeah. I mean, it's turn eight. Like you could be so far ahead by now if you had an early cathedral.
The 3/4 cathedral, but is kilning stuff right now. Probably. I don't
Uh,
know.
The 3/4 cathedral open like might be onto like emptying the provinces by now.
They saw enlightenment. Enlightenment more. Who needs cathedral?
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe they haven't realized that like you have to do some things involving the mountain shrine in order to turn on enlightenment. I don't know. That's how that mechanic works. Maybe they haven't realized, which is fair.
who wouldn't want to become enlightened?
Yeah, I would take the horses and a mountain shrine here. All right, still.
Okay.
I mean, it really seems like Yuri is playing to like. I mean, eventually you can do like if you had an infinite pile of hostelries, you could do some really cool things with artificer and hostelry and action coppers, but the hostelries are just gonna run, like you don't get to that end game.
Yeah, I think after a certain point, like, why would you get Cathedral? It's like buying Cathedral is admitting defeat. You can't do it after like the first two turns.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so if you artificer occultist and then apprentice it, how much draw is that? So you go down 5, you go down 6 for the apprentice, then you go up 8. So that's a double lab. You've used 2 cards. So you've turned apprentice and artificer into, yeah, it's like non-terminal cultist, sort of. Yeah, I mean, Yuri could take the root market at any time, just on account of being super ahead. Maybe they just really want to use Magnate, and that's why the no cathedral.
Yeah, because Magnate with oh, he gave the ruined market.
Ah, just showing off. I don't need this ruin market. You can have it.
Yeah, you have all these artificers and kilns and stuff. Like, who
All right.
needs? Okay.
JNails cannot handle having a ruin market. That was the last straw.
That was that was too much nonsense.
All right. The game ends with zero coppers trashed. Not what I would have. Well, if you told me that the game would end with zero coppers trashed, I would have assumed that JNails resigned on like turn 2. But yeah.
New table. Well, that does that yeah, that does make it so it's a deciding game six.
Yeah, very exciting. Yuri
Well, potentially.
with the chance to send it to a definitely deciding game 7.
And is that not what everyone's was hoping for? Having all six games matter, potentially seven.
I mean, it is nice for us, the commentators, to not uh, have a bunch of dead air to have to talk over.
Reckless walled village and way of the sheep. This is an interesting board.
Yes, I can now see it. Um, yeah, Reckless Walled Village is funny.
Can you can you cheat the walled village back into your deck without returning it?
Yes. Although, I mean, you can still only have, you know,
You can only have one action.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you can have two Reckless Walled Villages and no other actions. Well, and one other action. Or no other actions. It's interesting.
I mean, it's like a slightly better version of what's it called? The uh shoot the two cost card that's plus two cards plus two actions and goes away.
Hmm. The landing
Blanking on the
party or
name.
landing party or encampment or whatever.
Yeah, encampment. Like
Yeah, I
it's
mean
like one of those.
it's slightly better than that because you wind up more actions at the end.
Yeah. which is pretty relevant when like there's things like Inventor and Souk, which can be very quick to end a game on their
Yeah,
own.
yeah. I mean, the other thing you could do, I mean, obviously you aren't going to do it here. Like here, you just use Inventor to gain rec Walled Village, and then Walled Village to play more Inventors, and it's all fine. But you can, like, if this was like a money board, you could use one of your two walled villages as a walled village, and then the other one you play twice as Way of the Sheep, and then you're guaranteed to have at least four money every turn. So it doesn't take very much money density past that to buy a province.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Because Walled Village with Way of the Sheep, like anything reckless Way of the Sheep is potentially +4.
Mhm.
I don't expect this game to be a huge number of turns just because of there being a village plus some way of drawing plus Inventor and Souk. But
Yeah.
how that's going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the really interesting question is whether you have time for potion.
Yeah, because the scrying pool is definitely the best way to draw cards.
Well, I mean the
Plus,
best way
I guess Torturer can be annoying, but
to draw cards is that you have like if you win the walled village split and you have like seven walled villages, then you're really happy. So the question is like, does getting a potion slow you down too much and then you lose the walled village split and you're really sad? All right, JNails goes for the inventor. I mean, I don't think that's optimal, but it seems justifiable to try and win the walled village split.
I don't know. I feel like if you, yeah, like the thing is, you get to keep the walled village and draw further, and probably get like a souk to trash. It's
Yeah, yeah,
walled village seems pretty good here
it does seem pretty
because
good.
you
No, I
can
mean,
turn it into kind of like a grand market,
yeah, everything is Grand Market.
a
I think
village grand market.
Yeah, I mean, I think Walled Village is a better Grand Market than Bureaucrat was, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's actually it's really good.
Yeah,
Oh, there's the souk,
yeah,
and the walled village stays. It's great.
yeah. So now,
And then you can do a village then +2 money, and then it stays in the shuffle.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't. You're happy to trigger the shuffle because,
Oh, right, because it just goes on top of the deck anyways. It's
yeah,
so
yeah,
good.
it is really good. Yeah, yeah.
It's so good.
I would just Walled Village. Okay, wants maybe another Souk. That's fine.
Definitely want to play the walled village part of it, right? You don't want it returning to its pile.
No, it's below the line, so that happens regardless.
Oh, it's not part of the text.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just the thing the card does.
yeah. Can't double sheep with reckless. Oh yeah, that's true. It's follow the instructions twice, so you can't double sheep. That's a good point. I'd forgotten how that works. So, this one seems over already, also.
Yeah, I think JNails is gonna have trouble coming back here. Uh, Playing the inventor as a sheep.
So now probably just buy like Inventor plus Walled Village.
Yeah, seems good.
I mean, you could get two inventors,
Yeah, I mean you're always gonna hit the walled village, so
at least for a little
and you
while.
have
Yeah,
plenty of actions, so
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I really just want to be the person who has more walled villages, and then it will be very difficult to lose, I think. I mean, maybe not 6-4, but like if you can get better than that, which seems possible from the positions that they're in. Okay,
oh the potion. It was
goes
time for the potion.
goes for the potion. I mean, yeah.
All right, are you playing the other suit to keep the walled village,
I
or
mean,
you have
um,
an inventor down there?
you just well, hold on. I mean, you have to count the money. I mean, if you could just, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, you'd rather have it on top rather than buy another one. Yeah. You could definitely hoard the walled villages. You just use them to play inventors and souks, and those cards have gains stapled to them. So you're just, with the inventor, you get everything back basically, plus the cost reduction. I don't think the pool is necessary. I think that it probably does help insulate against the worst case scenarios for Yuri, so I can see why you would do that, seeing how far ahead he is.
Inventor gain walled village just skip turn. Huh. Oh, they only had two coffers. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a very sad hand. I don't know why JNails didn't play his walled village there. Just wanted to not trigger the shuffle.
Yeah, this is looking a little bleak.
Yeah, yeah, we will definitely see game 7
Uh,
here.
yeah, maximum gains.
Yep,
It's maximum dominion, so the maximum fun.
yep. We get maximum value for our, you know, time spent watching this match. I am going to take
Yeah.
a quick break while this game comes to its inevitable conclusion, and I will be back shortly.
All right. Minimum cathedral. That's right. Maximum dominion, minimum cathedral. That's what we do here. Of all villages returning cleanup that gives the opponent the opportunity to take them. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Cause with experiment, you put them back at the pile right away when you play them, so you can get them in the buy phase. So, yeah, that makes sense. You can't really monopolize them. Yeah, it's encampmenty. Yeah. GG. Okay, JNails has seen the future and conceded. So we're going to the deciding game 7. Oh no. Okay. Well, starting Kitsune is usually a good move. And there's Kind Emperor here. Uh, there's Draw to X with Scholar, but there's not really good trashing. Um, Alchemist is draw. I mean, I would say Kitsune is better than Young Witch, for like in general. So yeah, I would expect this 5-2 to be good
Yeah, this
for
5-2 5
Yurikabome.
5-2 looks really good. I mean, you can go Kitsune, you can even go like Curse plus Silver, and then you take the Labyrinth points.
Oh yeah, that's really mean. Yeah, you can get. I mean, I guess you're adding silvers, but then there's also Feudum, which is interesting.
I mean, I don't think. I
Uh,
mean, I don't think you can build here, so I think it's fine to take the silvers.
yeah, there's this is a very silver-centric kingdom with the merchant and the Feudum and the Kitsune.
That's true. That's true. There's definitely a lot of silver synergies. The anvil, you can gain some silvers.
Yeah, this game will be defined by silvers for sure.
Yes, definitely not Kitsune. That card is.
Definitely not turn one Kitsune.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, what do you do as JNails? Hmm.
Young Witch is all right, but you also, yeah,
I think I would open Young Witch. Like I understand that it does look better seeing the 5-2, but I think just like Young Witch Anvil is just like a nice way to get through the deck, and if you curse, you're happy. Okay, it goes for silver.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's the silver. It's all about the silvers. Got to get them as early as possible.
Hmm. Starting the march down to an empty silver pile, only 39 to go.
Yeah. Young Witch at Anvil is giving up on hitting five. Yeah, probably. I don't, especially if you're getting the receiving curses and stuff
Yeah.
immediately.
I mean, yeah, that is the case for Young Witch Silver, I guess. But I'm still surprised, kind of surprised not to see a Young Witch. All right, goes for Ghost Town Silver, just once
Ghost Town.
wants the Kitsune
Oh,
now.
gotta get the Kitsune. Otherwise, you're really sad.
That's true. I mean, the problem with Ghost Town is that it just like doesn't really do anything here. I mean, it makes once you have
Yeah.
multiple Kitsunes, it's nice to not have to play some for actions, but you're really just buying like uh half an expedition or something. Not half an
Yeah.
expedition. No, half of a card was the expectation value of the draw on that.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of thinking of it because you do have to draw back to it, but it does give you the card at the start of the turn.
Yeah, yeah, it's like an infinite series of +1 -1 that always starts on +1. So it's sort of just like a joke from a while ago, but
Oh, okay. I just missed the joke.
that's fine. I mean, it's true. I mean, if you count it out that way, it does come out that the expectation value of the ghost town is that it draws you half a card. And I mean, in this game, we are going to see a lot of turns potentially. So, ooh, JNails
Yeah.
hits 7. That's nice for the
Oh
double
boy,
Kitsu.
that's the stonemason
Mm. That's true. You can trash
and the
curses with it.
scholar.
All right. Scholar plus Ghost Town, not known for being a combo, but
Well, you can trash the ghost town to get more stonemasons, and I don't know what you do after that, but it's a thing you can do.
You certainly do have a lot of stonemasons.
Just draw your scholar at exactly the right times, and it'll be great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I would wait until Kind Emperor turns on, and then that helps you with
then you always have.
that helps you with drawing it at the right times. Yeah.
You can build a functional deck here. I'm not sure if there's time, but it is possible with stonemason, kitsune, and scholar. Yeah, I think that that makes sense.
I mean, it's definitely possible. Like if you're given infinite time, I just don't think you have infinite time. All right, JNails has uh,
I'm
Trash
not that
Curse.
kind of emperor. Well, with the scholar, I think it's guaranteed to find at least one kitsune and get kind emperor first.
Hmm.
Because what there's three down there. You're drawing one, and then you're drawing seven, so you're seeing eight cards.
That will be definitely nice. Yeah, I mean, JNails definitely not out of it.
Oh, the labyrinth points is happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're gonna have an easy time getting Labyrinth points at any point after this, so this is like the last chance you have to. Bison gains a stonemason. All right, that's interesting. Just the naked stonemason, not what I was expecting there.
It's trashing, and you got to get rid of all these curses.
Hmm.
You go for action so you can get another scholar. I don't know. That's probably a bad shuffle.
I would just take Alchemist, I think.
All right, you can choose any action, any at all, even if it costs potion. I don't know how I forgot about that. That's like the perfect thing to do.
Just goes for another Kitsune. That's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
I mean, is it better to have one more Kitsune or to draw the two at the bottom? I mean, I know what I would choose. All right, going for the
Oh, the
Feudum.
Fiatum.
Interesting.
It's about the silvers. It's about the silver points. It's happening.
That's really not what I expected to see immediately there, but JNails has a vision. I mean,
Yeah, a
I do
vision
th
of the future.
JNails does seem pretty ahead at this point, I think.
JNails has a lot of practice doing magic.
That is extremely accurate.
It's at times like these that that experience is really valuable. course, JNails is going to for Fiota because like the whole kingdom is about silvers.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone buy a Fiatum or gain a Fiatum before when there are two silvers out of the pile and you have one of them. It's very forward thinking. Okay, with donate, sure, sure. But like, I mean, maybe JNails wants to trash the Fiatum. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't think that that's the idea.
I don't know what JNails' agenda is, but I support it.
Going for the province here looks like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Making sure to get the silvers. He has so many silvers already.
Yeah, I mean, now up to three silvers. The Fiatums are now worth 1 point. I mean, it's a solid start.
Um, I don't know what six uh, gets. Oh, yeah, you can't. I was half expecting to be, I guess, buying a duchy. Okay.
JNails does not believe that the Fiata will make it to four. That's probably true.
Oh, but it would be so great if it did.
It would be impressive.
Oh, seven. Yeah.
All right, so JNails now has the opportunity to trash the Fiatum. We'll see if that's what he goes for.
Verse. We're going for a deck. Maybe. I'm not sure what's happening.
I think that they're just going to try and buy province as much as they can.
That's usually a good plan. Double Theodem.
Um, Double Fiata. That seems. I'm not sold on this taking all the Fiatums. I mean, I look at this and I just want to play a scholar. it's much better to yeah, to start your turn with 2 coins and 7 cards in hand than not to do that. The normal numbers, which are 0 coins and 5 cards in hand. I do know the rules.
Well, well, but Theatem is so fun.
It is a lot of fun. I mean, I do love a good Fiat. JNails has decided not to go with the fun line.
Decided to do the probably the smart thing.
Yeah, to get another province, which is very good.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Merchant camp.
Yeah, afraid of the pilot, I guess. Or, I mean, there's also value in having the merchant camp top decked every turn.
Right, yeah, yeah, it makes sense because you're gonna be taking scholars more
Yeah,
often.
you do plan on having to take a scholar a lot, I think, yeah.
Or silvers. Well, now you have to be careful about taking a scholar because, uh, well, I mean, yurikamome doesn't know this, but, well, going for it anyways.
I mean, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, what are you gonna just have a dud turn just because it's theoretically possible?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Pretty nice draw here.
yeah, it's 8 already.
So,
Might consider trying to turn the silver into estates. I don't know.
yeah, it's worth thinking
Just
about.
so you already have enough to get a province.
Yeah, scholar into 2 Fiat is also probably worth thinking about. You have to kind
Yeah,
of you have to kind of think about like it's probably good to get 7 cards deeper in the shuffle though, because you've seen so many of your good cards. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would silver to a state. I'm not like particularly happy about it, but I think it's correct. So now we'll see a pause here while Yuri counts how many silvers.
yeah.
Ghost Town, yeah, I mean Ghost Town's also reasonable, but yeah, maybe that's just correct.
You're already getting a merchant camp on top.
Yeah, it's just it's nice to have the plus one card also. I don't know. I'm not sure what's correct. It could definitely be to take fiefdom or estate.
Oh, only 2 silver, so it's not worth any points yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of assume that you'll get another silver at some point, but maybe not. It's definitely possible that you don't. You could take stonemason.
Yeah.
Like if you have a hand, well, no, never mind.
Look at all these actions in play.
Yeah,
Oh,
imagine if we had sea trade again.
yeah.
All right, ghost town plus province is the move.
That is respectable.
It's a nice draw for JNails off the top there. See what he
Yeah,
decides
for
to
sure.
gain. It's not really clear what you gain with the kind emperor here. Goes for scholar. Okay, gonna try and win.
It might just be there. Yeah, it is, isn't it? If you can
Yeah,
use
this
7.
this wins. Yeah. All right.
The feodum, it did it!
All right. Well, congratulations to JNails on winning
JNails,
the league championship.
the champion through feodum points.
hmm yeah. Thanks everyone for listening, and have a nice day.